Well, today when I was in the yard, I got a pleasant surprise. So I figured I'd make a video about it. Well, about pomegranate in general, but about that tree in particular. This pomegranate right here is more than 6 years old. For the first 4 years, I left it outside and it died back to the ground. It's so wonderful in zone 7. Died back down, died back down. End of year number 4, I brought that one in the house. He was kind of leaning because we had all that rain. Brought that one in the house. And this one, which I purchased at the same time as I purchased the other one. So this one, I brought back in the house the first winter. But that one right there, I put in a greenhouse and I left it outside. So this one has been outside for 2 winters. That one right there, just 1 winter. They didn't die back. They were heated and covered. Had incandescent lights on both of them. This one also had the protection of this greenhouse, which I've taken the plastic off, which is back there, and I'll put it back on in the winter. For 6 years, and I have not gotten one single fruit, have not seen one single flower, not one single nothing from these 2 trees, and they're both wonderful. So this year was supposed to be their last chance I was giving them, but I think I'm gonna give them one more, just one more, because we're taking up prime space. This is a Russian pomegranate that I just bought. I do believe it was, if not this year, late last year. Let's see. It's a Solovosky. Yeah, I got that in April 5th of this year. Now, it had 1 flower on it, which fell off. And then, now it's setting another one. Okay. No problem. I figured they're probably, it comes from the greenhouse. They're probably feeding a bunch of stuff to make it flower. No biggie, right? So then I have 2 other Russians over here in my electric fence area. But I was looking at one today when I came out to spray my trees. Now this one, you see how big that is? It's a little baby. It's not too big, but it's not a baby. But let's see. I think this is the one I can't pronounce. Serenevi or something like that. I can't say it. But anyway, planted that one in August of 23. Slow grower, huh? That's as big as it's gotten. Didn't expect any fruit from it anytime soon. But look what I saw today when I came out. Fruit. I never saw flowers on it, so these things must do something different. Or is that considered the flower? I don't know, because I haven't really researched pomegranates extensively yet because I didn't have fruit. So then over here is the Solovosky, which is, I think I might have got these the same time. But this one is a little bit bigger than the other one. But as of yet, it's not putting out any fruit. I think I got them the same time. Let's see. No, I didn't. This one I got August of 23. Where did I say I got that other one? I don't remember. But anyway, that one's not doing anything. Now, since I'm here with the pomegranate, I figured I'd go ahead and touch up on the citrus. Update citrus. I'm gonna check this date again just because I can't remember what I said. Oh yeah, August 23. Got them both at the same time. Okay. Off to the citrus we go. Ouch. Okay, so this was a Bloom Sweet grapefruit. It was covered and protected by that building. Sun from that direction all day, every day. But it did not make it. But it is grafted. Let's see if you see it. It is grafted on a 942. And 942 is coming up from the rootstock. So I'm going to cut that top piece off and let the 942 have that spot right there. And I'm not going to protect it because I have other 942s that do great here in zone 7. I'm going to pause you for a minute. Okay, so here is the ruby red grapefruit. I had 5 grapefruit buds on here, and they all fell off after that 5-day rain we had. But then 3 more came on, and so I'm hoping to at least get 3 grapefruit from it this year. Last year I got 2, and I was really hoping for a bigger harvest this year, but it's okay, it's coming. And this is a pretty slow grower, I think. That's all how tall it is. I think I planted this. Let's see. I can tell by the location. It's one of the earlier ones that I purchased. I don't have the day that I planted that on there. I forgot to include it. It says planted, but I don't have the date written there. So I'll have to look that up. Oh. All right, y'all. I said this was my favorite because the way this thing looks right now is exactly how it looked coming out of winter. And I will say the grapefruit, this one, and the next 3 trees I'm going to show you all were covered and had lights. So this one was covered, it had lights, and it never dropped a leaf. I mean, it just looked just like this. But the problem I'm having with it is it didn't have any of the stressors of the other trees. None of that. It gets fed well, micronutrients and macronutrients, and it has not put out a single bud yet. And this thing went out in the ground March of 2023. This is the 10-degree tangerine. It's pretty big. I mean, it's big, it's taller than me, but it just has not fruited yet. So I don't know why. Maybe I need to give it more food. I can't imagine, but it gets plenty, more than the other ones. This one is old droopy Owari. Now, all that died. It was covered as well, had lights, just 2 strings of lights. But see, it is growing here on this green branch. Let me see if I can focus it. Yeah, it's starting to put out here, and I still have green here, and I think up to here. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to cut this one yet until I see what it does, because it has started growing back from down here, and it's grafted here. You can see that, and it's growing out above the graft. So this is all Owari again. It's just odd how it grows from the bottom up, but it is. But I'm going to leave it until I see what is truly dead and what is not, because I have another green limb right there as well. So we'll see. Here was the variegated Mineola. It did not make it, but it was growing its, it was right there. It was growing its rootstock, which is an 802, so I have moved that to the other side of the yard because I don't know how big it's going to get, and I'll show you that one shortly. This was the lemon tree. That is a 3-way. Lisbon, Eureka, and Ponderosa. Everything was grafted onto the Ponderosa. And I think this is on its own rootstock, the Ponderosa, I'm hoping, because the grafts, Y'all, if I won't be able to get up, somebody come help me. This was the graph for the, oh, wow. Oh, here we go. Water has washed it off. This is the graph for the Areca. It's obviously dead. This was the Lisbon. And this big part over here is part of the Ponderosa. And you see it is growing again. So I'm thinking, instead of trying to get the citrus to survive the winter, I need to focus on getting them to thrive through the winter and afterwards. So I'm going to be increasing my lights again this winter, going back up to 3. And I was actually thinking about building a portable hoop house over top of them and then putting a heater out here. And that's still something I'm toying with, but we'll see. And then over here is the Sugar Bell Tangerine. I thought for sure that thing was dead. Looking at it, I thought it was dead. Planted this in summer of 2023. And down here, here's where it's grafted. There. And the new growth is coming from these sides. You can see where the graft split. And so part of the rootstock is here. Let me get my hand out the way. It's here. And then you have the actual variety starts right here, right there. And so it looks like the Sugar Bell has survived. And it did take some damage. Again, I'm going to focus on thriving and not just surviving. Okay, let's see if I'm forgetting any citrus. Oh, so here is the Amoa 8. And I have decided that I'm not going to put this outside. It is a red-fleshed citrus. It's actually a mandarin. And this thing, when I brought it outside, it dropped its leaves, went into total shock. Well, it started growing its leaves again maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then it just started kicking out all of these little babies. So I'm kind of worried about, and we have more down here, kind of worried about when I take it back in the house if it's going to go through that shock again. Hopefully not, because I have grow lights and I'm going to put it under the grow lights. But that is the Amoa 8, and that will be going back in the house. That's the only citrus tree I'll have in the house. This winter I've decided to put the other 2 in the ground, and I'll show you those next. So here was that big giant lemon tree that was started from seed. I thought it did not make it, but we have growth, new growth. So I cut all the old down, and let me get out the shadow. Cut all the old down, and then we have, can I see it? I can't see it, but anyway, hopefully you can see that little green growing on the other side. Let's see. Here. So it is putting up some new growth. And I planted this here because I thought that was dead. And so now the Sakari, I just put this out there. I bought that December 19th of last year. Oh, and its leaves was turning yellow and looking bad. Still not as dark green as the rest of them. Not sure if that's the actual color they should be or not. But it is on the rebound. So that is the Sakari. Then over here we have what used to be the variegated Mineola, which is now the rootstock, which is the 802. And so I put that here. And I don't know what to expect from it, but it is the US 802 rootstock. And like I said, because I didn't know how big it was going to get, I put it at the edge of the property. And then we're about to hit these 902s, I believe. I mean 942s. But first, here is the second tree that I had in the house over the winter. And I had that Barbados cherry there. I thought it made it, but apparently it didn't. I left it uncovered one of the late frosts, and I think that just was too much for it. But this, I believe, is the brown select. Yep. Excuse me. That's the brown select, and it is putting out little fruit. Now, the other night it was 68 degrees. I have 3 of these in various areas on my property just to track the temperature. It was 68 degrees outside. The other 2 thermometers or hydrometers, whatever they're called, measured 68.3 and 68.2. This one measured 84.6 degrees. And I do believe it's just because of this barrel right here. And it's not really close to it. It's probably about 18 inches away. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably about 18 inches away from the tree. So now I am going to look for some more black barrels and put behind some of these more sensitive trees over here in the tree line. Here's one of the 942s. It's doing fine. No issues with that. And here's the one that I thought was dead. And it has a little green on it, but it still is not putting out any leaves. So it may be dead. But we'll see. Over here was another one that I had in the pot that I was going to take back in the house, and I changed my mind. This is the one that will need a bucket. And this is the Thomasville. It is putting on lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of baby fruit. I'm not sure if it's going to hold it all or not, but at least it's putting it on. This little thing has been on there a while, and it's probably ripe. It's kind of soft, but I just want to see what it's going to do, how big it's going to get, or if that's it, because I don't know how big they're supposed to be. But anyway, that is the Thomasville, and I planted that out here in the spring of this year, a few weeks ago, but I actually purchased it in November of 2024. And so I'm looking forward to that growing. But if it doesn't make it, guess what, y'all? If it doesn't make it, I'll have yet another 942. It's gonna make it. We're not even gonna claim that it's not. Okay, so over here is another Owari. This one I just put out here too. It was in the house for the winter. So I just stuck this one in the ground. And I need to stake it up because it's leaning. I need to stake it better than it is. It's not fruiting or anything, but it is looking healthy. Here we have the flying dragon. Looking really, really nice. Trying to keep the sun from making a shadow, but that's the flying dragon. That was planted September of 2024, put into the ground. And it was probably about 3/4 the size that it is now. Let's see. That's a better shot of it. So yeah, that's the flying dragon right there. Back here, if you'll remember, is where I threw out all those lemon seeds. In that pot is the some 10 degrees I just stuck in the pot to see what they're gonna do. Looks like one is dying. The other ones are still pretty green. So not really doing anything though, but I'm gonna leave them. And see some babies here coming up. And there, and all over through here. These are just lemon seeds that I put out here, really with no expectations of anything. But I didn't want to, oh, even some over here. This is slightly bigger than the rest of them. But just to see what they do, if they make it or not. All right, we'll go down further here. This is another 942 that had died all the way back, but it's coming back now. So this is what it was. So 942 seems to do very well here. Those were actually very, very, very small plants when I first got them. I think I got like 4 or 5 of them for $15 from Madison. Right before the time they stopped selling them like that because they were going to start using them for rootstock, or they were big enough for rootstock, something like that. But anyway, this baby here is the one that I started from seed. It was a Eureka lemon, but I don't know what I'll get. But anyway, it was a Eureka. I started from seed. I thought it was dead, but as you can see, it's growing back. And I planted that. Gosh, I can't see this. This engraving stuff is nice on these labels, but they're sure hard to see unless you catch it right. January 2024 is when I started that. Tree from seed. Wait a minute. I think I told a story. That's a 942, I do believe. Yep. Sunky Mandarin 942. I told a story. Sorry about that. That's not 942. I mean, that's not a lemon from seed. This one is the lemon from seed. This one I started from seed. Thought it was dead as well. It came back, or it's coming back. I cut all that off. That right there. And let's see. Started from seed March 2023. So yeah, that is the lemon from seed. Actually, that was the Eureka, not the other one I just said. It was a Eureka lemon. But it actually looks better coming back the second time than it did when it first grew. It's a lot fuller. Over here, that 942 that I thought was doing so good, better than everybody else last year, and then I thought it didn't make it. Guess what? It's coming back. So it made it. Here we have another 942. Let's see. 942. I'm trying to find the best way to see because the sun is a killer. Okay, that's another 942. Again, waiting for that to do something. Over here is yet another 942 that I stuck underneath of this tree for protection. So it gets sun, but not a whole lot. And once it gets bigger, I will cut all of that back so they can get more sun, or start cutting it back. Over here is the Mawa Kumquat. That thing did really good. It was covered by that pot, and it is putting out new growth. Had no issues whatsoever with that. And that was planted July of 24. And then last but not least, oh no, not even last, I told a story again. Last on this row is the Owari and a lizard that just about scared me to death. The Owari, this one, it did suffer some dieback. It was just covered, no lights, but it is growing back. And this will be another one that I'm going to put a barrel of water behind. And that I planted July 2024. So that's the Owari Satsuma, the original one. And I'll have to cut all that dead off of there. All right, let's go back out here and see some more 942s. Okay, here is, before I get to the other citrus, this is a pomegranate that I started from a cutting from one of the other either the Salavosky or the one that I can't pronounce. And I don't know which one it is, but it's living and it's putting on quite a bit of new growth this year. It's a little teeny thing. This is the Seville orange. This is one of the first citrus that I planted because I was told nothing kills it. And so far, nothing has. It's never been covered, lights or anything else. It's just been out here just like that. And I have another one that I bought at the same time down at the other end. But that is the Seville orange or the bitter orange. And then I have another one here, which was purchased the same time as that one was. And none of these have fruited yet. I imagine they're probably still too young, I guess. I don't know. But I'm patient. And then here is another pomegranate that I started from cutting. Missed something. Nope, that last pomegranate wasn't from cutting. I traded that one out. Okay, I have to go back to that one. This one, I definitely started from cutting. And I don't know what it is. It's either Salavosky or the Serenelvi or however you say it. But the other one that I just showed you is actually a Marisol. One of my friends has a daughter who has taken an interest in growing things. And so we went to a plant sale and they had the Marisol. And they were small and she wasn't really happy with getting one because of the size. So I took the Marisol and gave her the bigger Salavosky or Serenelvi, whichever it is. And so that's what this one is. This is a Marisol. If I looked at the Bala Marisol or something like that, if I looked at the labels, I guess I would have known. And this sheep sorrel, man, this stuff is treacherous. The vines, and it just runs like crazy, but it's a very good medicinal, so I don't try to tear all of it up. But anyway, that's the Bala Marisol or something like that, pomegranate. And I think, oh, there's another citrus tree over there at the edge of the property, but I'm not gonna walk over there. It's just another 942. And so that is it for my citrus update and my pomegranate update. As always, thanks for watching.